a couple of these citronella candles to keep the mosquitoes away. Try to do this in a different spot this time. Guys, how we doing? Oh. Well, this is, I believe this is number 70 or 71 of Tree Talk Tuesday. So, pretty proud of the fact that we've kept it going this long and been this consistent because, especially when it comes to my YouTube content, it's never consistent. But my live feeds are, so. What's up, Tree Walker? Ground Pounder's here. Billy's here. Yeah, we're close. We're running up on 100. It won't be too much longer, and we'll probably be there. So, I gotta figure out a way to get you guys much closer so I can kind of see the comments. Oh, this will work. After I get my thumb all in the way and everything. Okay. Finally quit raining here. Now it's so hot, can't hardly stand to go outside. Yeah, that's how it is here. It's pretty miserable. That's kind of why I pushed the live feed back a little more to kind of get into the cooler weather in the evening. So, Bro Sam here. Camshaft shortage supposedly worldwide. Damn. Bridge burner. I like the little truck. I don't know if you got to read my comment yet, but my dad used to have two of those, and yeah, he would just load it up in the back of his 2-ton, take it to the job site, and use it to pedal, and then I'd drive it home at like 12, 13 years old, stuff like that. It's stuff you couldn't get away with nowadays. GP always here? Yeah, 100%. Smoke from Canadian fires are terrible here. Really? Dang. I responded to. Oh, okay, right on. Cool, cool. Yeah, I'll check up on everything here. I've been having a ton of trouble just getting anything uploaded. Like, I'll export it after editing it, and this new way I have to edit things by putting my SDs in my phone. It's just not working right, and things are coming out all messed up, and it's been quite a bummer. But dang it. What's up, Clint? So, I think we'll start most of like the Tree Talk Tuesdays off, kind of discuss the videos that I've kind of seen this week that I've kind of enjoyed. I'll always end up forgetting some and missing some. That's just the nature of it. It's like recency bias, whichever ones I've recently seen. So kind of usually watch up on some before we started. Bridge Burner just put a real cool one out showing his little truck. That thing's really cool. I like that. DQ MC07, Daryl. He just put a video out doing some tall pines, falling it. A really cool video. Um, Also, August put out a pretty good video on rigging, which was fun to watch. And for anybody that was like using that to learn, especially the only thing like the timber hitch setup, the way you set the twists up, because he was doing a demo on rings, the way you twist it will determine if you're rigging from above or below. Like if you're using it at the base of a tree, you would put your twists on the rope to get it to bite when it pulls up, as opposed to normally when you're rigging, which is pulling down. So the only thing I noticed that they didn't really point out. But what's up, John? How you doing, buddy? Um, Also, I just I got to catch Reg's newest video, which was just kind of cool. Quick music video of the tree fell. that dead pine. So that was kind of cool. And I'm sure there's some other ones that I'll think of as I go along here. Oh, Dan, the tree man, that pine that he took care of. There's a lot of pines in the videos that I've noticed. But yeah, that was pretty gnarly. I like the way he did it there, and I kind of knew that that one little branch was gonna get him. And also, Dan, I respect the fact that you were still able to turn that into a video, even though you missed your main shot. And he didn't say that, but I'm just going off of what happens to me all the time. I miss that main shot all the time, and I'll throw all of it away because of that. And luckily, he had, I think, a clip from someone else's phone, and he was able to use it of it falling. So that was pretty cool. So check out Dan's stuff too. Also, he's been doing stuff. He had some stuff with Ground Pounder where they kind of buddied up and did some work, partnered up, and that was some cool videos. I think you can find those on Ground Pounder's page, or you can find them on Dan the Tree Man's page. So check out all them videos if you get a chance. But okay, um, so I just want to discuss after using all these tools and stuff that I've gotten from Gap, like how I feel about them. I don't, you know, I am beyond stoked. Okay, first of all, Tylaska is the company that make these rings. See how bulky they look on the lips of them. Really nice. I kind of like that. It'll keep it from the ropes almost inset, so the ring would rub, as opposed to always rubbing the rope where you'll end up messing the ropes up on these. So the splice job that they use is very good. All their splicing is very, very, very good. So they sent me this, which is a large ring um, by Tylaska. I don't know if Tylaska is a town name or what, but these are American made. So another, you know, bonus for you loyal Americans. That's kind of cool to see. So you have this. Um, Also, the only thing I think is kind of weird is I wish. Okay, you see how that gap right there is so big? Then they get smaller though as they go down. So I wish the last one was also big like that, like a big gap, but it's not. It's small compared to the first one there. Um, I wish it was though, because, and I know that's for the length there. They didn't want to put a splice spot so it wasn't girth in there always. It's usually on both ropes here, somewhere along this right here. But I would like to be able to attach my bend right ring onto the end, and it does attach. I just don't feel safe about it because it ends up meeting at one of these points. So I can make this setup retrievable, which is real nice. Um, I can make it retrievable by when it's girthed around, even, and using it that way. By see, like, okay, say I set it up like this, it's on my arm. How would you retrieve something like that? Well, you just end up putting something smaller, like down here, so that when the rope travels out, it grabs the bottom of this and it actually pulls the ring back up out of it, which is kind of tricky and hard. It's pretty tough to do, but it can be done. But I love this setup. I didn't know, I've never. What's going on, Dan? Um, I've never used a ultra sling before. It is so incredibly convenient. It's insane. Um, Also, it's just silly how quick the setup can be, and how many options you have. Because I mean, you can set it up however you want, using a timber hitch, a cow hitch, just a bowline, you know. Even like I've showed you guys the Prusik way of of doing the setup. I think August or Samurai Joe just kind of gave away the Blake's Hitch way of doing it, which is the same way as the Prusik way that I've always showed you guys by girthing it around, but it's just in it's a little different. I mean, a tad. The knots, really the only thing different is the knot. But that one also, just like with the Prusik knot that I showed you guys how to turn a single or two singles into a double, that's the same setup. So you got to tie the knot right. If you tie it upside down, it can easily come undone. So, so this, I would highly recommend anybody using this setup. This is amazing. Like I said, I dig the splice setup that they give me here. Um, Plenty of adjustments. I have yet to run into something that I can't use this on. And it's also nice because if you end up just girthing around something really small, all these pockets give you spots to like stash the tail. Like if you needed to, you could easily just go through and get the tail so it's not hanging down, and you just kind of poke the tip in there like that, and then it would hold everything. So, or you just wrap it around again and girth it back through with this end. But these are so easy and so nice to have. But you don't. I don't like rigging off of a single one, but so I have. But if I can avoid it, I always try to use a good bend radius. And I've had ropes blow up in the middle of rigging because I was using something with a sharp bend radius, and that's scary. Have to buy some fence panels when stuff like that happens. When I should have just used. Plus, you ruin a rigging rope, which always sucks. So. Love your rings, huh, Dan? Yeah, yeah. I am a huge fan of the rings. Um, I've tried rigging with blocks before. Just didn't really like it. Felt like it was a little more out of control. But if I'm doing like lifting and stuff, blocks are cool. Pulleys are cool then. But then they also sent me, as far as rings, they sent me that, which is awesome. I don't have that, and I pretty much have anything and everything when it comes to rings, though. The bend right ring, B strings. I've got a dual setup, small gears, and as far as like well made, unless they've changed something major, I'd say as far as quality, all gear is the weakest. They're not oxidized like this, so this holds up way better. It doesn't damage as easy, and I feel like it's much stronger. So the all gear rings, cool, but in my opinion, they're not the best, and they don't hold up as well. They kind of wear out much quicker. Mine have grooves in them already, and big chips where I had to like file it down and smooth it out because it would tear my ropes. Like I took the dual set, which I'll show you what I do with these, because I took my other dual set, which is the all gear rings, and I threw them out of a tree once, and when they hit, they clanged together, and it curled a piece up, it chipped a piece up on one of them. So the next time I used it, my rope snagged that, and it ripped a big, just tore the rope. And I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. So I filed that down, got it all fixed, and I realized that what had happened when I threw it down, they clanged together. So usually now when I take this, I will separate the two rings before I throw it down, or you just carry it down, but I'll separate them like this and then toss it down like that, because then there's no way those two rings clanging together. But this setup, they gave me like a 15-foot dead-eye sling that it's on. Well, not dead-eye sling. I guess it's just yeah, it would be a dead-eye sling, or maybe just a straight sling. But 15-foot sling. I don't know if it would be called a dead-eye sling because it doesn't have an eye at the end. It's just a straight sling. So you tie your own knots, and set it up however you want. But yeah, you could do like Joe was doing, and say, okay, say we set this up here, and we want to make this whole thing adjustable. We would just, I'll do it probably I'll just use the taut line hitch because that's my style. I never really use the Blake's hitch. So we'll go 2 under.
I think we're gonna have to give them a.
And then 2 over. Give it to him.
No, give him a sedative because I went to put the flea medicine on him, and he turned around at me and goes, "Rrrr." I'm like, all right. So I did it to myself to show him it wasn't a big deal, but I think I'd rather give him a pill first.
Yeah, show him out. There's so many ridiculous cats around here because I got a neighbor who likes to feed all the feral cats in the neighborhood, which is disgusting. So now my dog has fleas. Which is ridiculous because the dude goes to the groomer every month.
To the vet.
To the vet. It's just ridiculous. So, now, you would set it up kind of like that. So what you've done is you put this on this big loop now. So you would probably go ahead and put a knot in this. I'll put it a little closer to the setup. But you would go and loop around and then go through and set it up like that. It would have that tail. And so if you wanted to go into smaller, ooh, I should have set that, okay, yeah, I should have set that on the other end. You can go longer. That was the tightest setting. So then you go like this, you would extend it out and you could go even further. But yeah, the loop would go on the opposite end. But like I said, that's not the way I've always used it and made it an adjustable sling setup. I just used the other sling on a straight sling and just tied a big bowline onto it, made it on a big loop, so it's like a ring on a loop, and then use the loop like you would a prusik and tie it on that way. But let me see if I can set that up and do that the correct way, and then I'll show you and tell you what I feel about the climb line and now the saddle, since I've had plenty of time to really get into it and mess with it. So I'm trying to think. So when you're setting this up, could you make, how would you do that though? I'm trying to think of how you would do it. Like, that's the same setup. So that's not it. Do you run the whole setup back to here? Hang on. You're seeing my brain try to work while we're sitting here. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, you would have to do it, I believe, this way. 2 over, 2 under. And if I'm right, I'll explain it and show you a little further, but if I'm wrong, we'll just skip to something else. Because I know how smart Joe is, and sometimes he just figures things out that other people can't. Hang on, what did I do? I messed something up there. I tied to the wrong thing. I did 2 different ones. Oh my, I'm starting to get aggravated. Okay, so you want that end to be stationary, you want the other end to adjust. So yeah, it would be okay. Alright, last try. Watch me struggle. I usually pick up on rigging tricks quick, but this is kind of ticking me off here. I'm not catching this one like I normally do. Okay, I think we're almost there. I don't know why you would even, now that I'm thinking about it, why would you even want your sling? I guess if you set it up and it would be adjustable at all times, that would be kind of nice. It would make setup a little quicker, but not that much. So it would be like this, okay? You would set up, loop around, go through, okay? And then if you wanted that sling right there to be bigger, you would adjust out here. And it would make the loop bigger, but your rings would stay right there. See, I need to field dress that much better and get it all to where it looks all pretty and stuff. And it would be a little easier to see there and not look so weird. But it is me sitting there trying to learn something while we're in the middle of recording, so work with me a little. Probably not a good idea to try to learn something in the middle of a live feed. So, yeah, so it would be set up like that, and you would rig off of it like that. And then that just gives you, every time this tail's not here, what you would do is just, you could always back it up when you're using it, and like go ahead and plop a daisy chain in this real quick. And then if it was to slip or anything, the daisy chain is actually going to stop it right there. So you're rigging off of it, you take that around and go through that. So you're rigging off of it like this. And then if you need to make the loop bigger, that's when you would adjust out on that and take your daisy chain out, and then it would extend the loop out. So, but definitely not the prettiest thing, but you could then reset your knot after you get it adjusted where you want it. You just slide that down to make your loop a little bigger, and then you can go around a bigger tree, or make it real small so you can use this such a big sling setup way up in the tree around something really little, and you're set up and you're rigging off of it. But I would suggest probably putting a stopper knot or something there, keep it in case it was to drift. But yeah, that's that setup though. I bet there's a billion questions because I did everything wrong first. I'm gonna jump through comments pretty quick because I'm way behind. What's going on, JC? I'll try to see if anybody new showed up. William, what's going on, brother? Dan the tree man. So, okay. But, so if you're doing that setup, like Joe was showing, so you can do it with a taut line, you're going to want the knot to be, the rings to be, your like anchor end, like what the end that you would be tying to you. Think of it that way. I think. Yeah, the end that would be anchored to you if you're making a climbing system is the one that has to be the brake or the handle of the system. So I believe so, or at least in this setup it does. So it makes sense. I don't want to bore anybody with any of that too much more. So, but yeah, that does make this adjustable, so you don't have to do any timber hitches or anything. So kind of cool. You could attach another ring if you want. We've done that. We've done a lot of stuff with this already. So before I get too deep into the video, I do want to thank Gap for helping me out and sending me this stuff. Gives us something to discuss. It gives me new stuff to use. I like experimenting with new gear and stuff, so that's always cool. And plus it gives us something to talk about when we're doing these live feeds. And we've discussed these quite a bit. This is probably my new favorite ring setup. So 15 foot 10x, I believe that's probably 3/4 or 5/8. Let's see. That is 5/8. It's a 15 foot long sling. It was made November 22nd. So, now, here's something I did not expect and was not intending on like getting into. I was pretty solid with the ropes I was using and really liked the stuff I was into. That company has like never done anything for me. I just enjoyed their ropes, and that would be all gear. So I mean, at the same time, I don't like the rings. I do like their ropes and their splices and stuff like that. I haven't really found one that kind of that I like as much. I used the Tuffelberger Tachyon Ash, and that didn't. That was a great rope, but it was a little soft, so that part I didn't much like. But this is Poison Moon 11/7, and yeah, Poison Moon 11/7. It is it's an amazing rope for. Hang on, I can't handle this. Oh, that dude doesn't listen to anybody but me. He's so annoying. And he don't listen to me most of the time either. I love that rope. The eye splice is awesome on it. It's 11/7, so it's that perfect in between size. I dig the colors. Didn't know I would. Didn't know how I felt about it at first. After using it, I love it. It's such a good rope. So anyone uses the zigzag and uses it either DRT or SRT, it works very good for both. I have no issues with it. I haven't had any problems with it. It's great for putting knots and stuff into, and but it's stiff. At the same time, it's not too floppy. It doesn't smush very much. Like, it keeps that solid core shape. So that was my issue with the Tuffelberger Tachyon Ash. So Okay, so we discussed the rope they sent me. They are 3 for 3 when it comes to me. Um, they sent me the Ultra Sling right here with the ring. Love it. Like, it is my go-to, especially when it comes to, like, if it's a redirect, or you're setting the rigging up that first ring. That's it. If I'm going to use a ring real quick at the base of a tree, that's probably it. Um, if I just need that main rigging point, even I'll use it. I have a little one on a straight sling. I'll tie a loop in it and girth it, like just girth it around. Same thing with that one, and run 2 at the top, single rings, and I'll use that one for the main one. Like, if it gets down to it, because it's just rated for much more than the other setup I have. So love that. Didn't know how much I would enjoy using the Ultra Sling. It's amazing. These, when it comes to big rigging, I am just in awe of. Love these things. So would definitely recommend these, especially as a dual setup. Um, they're so nice, and you can see how big that bend radius ends up being. Big, safe bend radius with these things. So so nice to have. Definitely recommend that one. Climb line, awesome. I do have one issue with it. When I got it, I'll show you. I wasn't gonna say anything, but might as well if we're being honest. Okay, so somewhere in this dang rope, it's got a pluck in it, where one strand has been plucked, and it's got like, it's such a bad one too. Like, it's a bummer. I see it every time. I hate it. Drives me nuts. And it's like, it's towards I might as well just done that. Whatever, I'll rewrap it. It's towards the sewn eye too, so I'll just grab the eye here and we'll find it real quick. So, see if you see it when it comes up. Watch it have a bunch of them now. Should be coming up. I don't know what I'm talking about, I guess. Watch, it's not here anymore. Oh. Come on. Where is it? There isn't one. I'm just lying. What the heck? Oh, there it is. Look at that. It sucks. I hate it. Like, probably should just take my lighter to it, and that's all it really is. It's like some weird phrase in it where it, I don't know, when I'm looking at it, I don't see an issue with it. Like, it doesn't look like it looped out. It's just a weird spot in it. The rest of the rope looks really good. And it was like, when I opened it and got into it, this is like right in the middle, actually, of the rope. So what do you think? Central version Blue Moon is Hyperclimb. Westford version Blue Moon is Poison Ivy. So I wonder if All Gear's Poison Moon specs out the same as Blue Moon. So this is not All Gear. This is, you have to ask Gap. Poison Moon, I think, it may be the name of the company. No. The Splice Shop. So I don't know who actually makes this rope, like the actual manufacturer, but the Splice Shop is who does all their rope work and stuff, and that's who manufactures, I believe, this rope and the slings and stuff. So, but I'm sure I don't know. I may need to look into that, but that's a pretty bad pluck. The closer you get to it, right in the middle too. But you can see the rope doesn't like have a weird defect or like bend in it there. It like keeps its shape completely, and like, I don't know, so weird. feel like I just hit it with a lighter. And maybe like take some white out or something so I can keep an eye on it, like a mark or something. I don't know. We'll see. But it's amazing rope. So, like, is it 24 strand? I should say here on the splice, it's either 24 or 36. It doesn't quite feel stiff enough to be 36, but I've been wrong before. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. I would imagine 24 strand. It definitely feels like my cherry bomb and stuff. It's got that same stiff feel to it. So, um, yeah, I would say 24 strand. It definitely doesn't feel stiffer than my other 24 strands, so I wouldn't think it's like a 36. So if I was a betting man, I would say 24 would be the right answer. Thomas. I think it was Thomas, right? No, that was Tree Walker. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, I think they were 24. Yeah. Yeah. All kinds of weird traffic here right now. What's going on? So, that was really cool when they sent me that stuff. They actually sent me all of this in one bag. Oh, and hang on, I'm not even giving them full credit. They also sent me the lanyard that I use on my client. I knew there was something else that they sent me. I just couldn't remember it. I was like, well, I got to get out everything that Gap sent me, and I kind of want to do a quick review after use, you know. So they basically, it was a gimme when it comes to the lanyard. He's seen the kind that I used, and you know, probably if you watch a little bit of my content, I'm a pretty picky person. I use what I like and nothing else. So he just found me the same kind and sent me it. A new version with a better clip. So that was really cool. So climb line, love it. The eye splice, awesome. They got it covered with a hard plastic stitching where the stitchings that where the eye meets there, and the taper. Then they sent me this lanyard. That lanyard originally was a Rock Exotica setup. Is who made it. I don't know. You know, it's a splice company that makes this one, and I can't remember the name that they have on it. Yeah, I can't remember the name right now. But yeah, it's soft, you know, still, and like, oh, it's so nice compared to the old one I was using. And like I said, it comes with a new clip, which is all matte black. Looks very nice. I like it. It's an ISC clip. Yeah, really, really, really like it. I think most sewn eye things should come with these. These little rubber gasket things that are in there. It holds the eye open and then holds a carabiner in there much better. I wish everything that has sewn eye came with those. I love those. All Gear used to put those on their spliced eyes for their climb lines, and now they got cheap and they stopped even putting the rubber cover on it anymore. It's just straight rope with stitching. So yeah, not really a fan in the direction they're going in quality, but it is what it is. All that stuff was awesome. So that's 4 for 4 when it comes to Gap. Ray there is just cord on the other side of the pillow. got great taste, and you know, I use and love all the stuff he sent me. So that was box one. Then yeah, Dan, they definitely hooked me up. Then I got a rant. Well, actually, I got a phone call first, and he asked me, "What size saddle you wear?" And I'm like, "Oh, whoa." Um, and I didn't really know. I said medium. You know, I'm 6, maybe one or so. I don't know, maybe 6 foot, 6'1". I just took for granted I was a medium, so I'm like a medium. And he's like, "Okay, cool, I got you. I'll send something your way." I was like, "All right, have a good one." Or he may have sent me a text. I don't even know if he called me. He may have texted me. And so, whoa, are they gonna send me a saddle? Huh. And I had commented on Instagram that I liked the new saddle that came out from Weaver, which is the Stratus here. So they they sent me one. And my only complaint with it is totally my fault. So um, if if I had a complaint, it's the saddle size. And I told him what saddle size I am, which is not regular. I would actually be a small because my waist is like 33, and 34. It goes small goes to 34, and then 34 and up is regular. So I really goofed up on this one when it comes to the saddle, and you know, I'm the one that messed it up. I can't say anything. They hooked me up, and I just didn't know. So heads up to anybody else who's getting a new saddle. I don't know if Weaver is the same as everybody else, but 34 to like, I don't know. I don't even know what most people are like in that range. Um, if you're on the high end of the 30s, like look it up because it goes from medium to large. I think at the high 30 mark. Um, so it turns out I'm actually a small. A small saddle is what I've always had. I didn't know that. I've never checked size. I always bought them in person and tried them on and stuff. So what I didn't know what to do. Um, I've been thinking of taking all my hardware off my tree motion and meeting the old lady. You're funny. Alright, so they sent me this, and the only issue is that I am a small. This is a medium. So I had some work to do. What I ended up with when it comes to this is a bunch of extra straps everywhere. So here, I'll put this on for you guys so we can kind of see one last time. So I ended up with a ton of extra straps. They were everywhere, and I'm like, dang it. Now what am I gonna do? Because I can't handle a bunch of stuff hanging off of me. Even my speed line straps, like I need to daisy chain them up because I cannot stand when you go to step away from somewhere and you're hooked onto a little branch and you like can't move because you've hooked onto a little stub or something. That is so aggravating, and that happens all the time. So I'm like, I can't handle all this extra straps and stuff hanging all over the place. I gotta figure something else. Something else. Also, it did not have a chainsaw loop. Okay? There was no clip for a chainsaw on this thing. What are you supposed to do? Well, it's supposed to be for tree climbing. So, you know, you would think they'd put a chainsaw clip on it. So I installed my own. There's a strap here that hooks this clip here on that you can see. I've taken a round file and put a little bit of a lip on the clip, busted the guts out of it here. So now it just I store it like this when I'm not using this. So when I'm using it, I actually use this delta on my saw, and then I hang the delta on there, because if you notice, the delta will catch everywhere. Even if you do it upside down, you like flick it at it, and it's gonna get it. So yeah. Then I ran into a problem with these little straps. They're just a button, and they popped off. So I sewed them together, and now this cannot come off. And yeah, really like that setup. And I hate to admit it, I'm not gonna say. Actually, I'm not even gonna give them. The saw lanyard's okay, but for anybody who knows me and is channel for any length of time, they know how I feel about recoil, and how they never did. I like had to re-sew my own saw lanyard back together because I got one immediately. My 150 slipped off my hook, dropped down, and it ripped all the threads out of the saw lanyard to where it was like unusable. It extended it out a bunch more feet. Like, it was a 150 and it only fell a few feet. Like, it didn't make any sense. So I called them about it, and oh, we got you, we'll send you some, but we're out of stock right now, so just give us a little bit of time and we'll send you one. And I'm like, okay. I think it was 3 years ago, so it's at least 2 years, I would think. It is what it is. I'm still using it. I just sew it back together every time, and yeah, it is what it is. I don't want to get into it. I'll waste my time talking bad about somebody. Okay, so this saddle. First, I'll just hook the suspenders, which do not come with the saddle. These are aftermarket suspenders. I don't know what brand they are. I bought them at Lowe's. They do have the clip together here, which is nice. It just takes everything and like locks it together, and you can just clip a little beaner onto there and use it to tin your slack if you want. But yeah, so here's the issue. Let me show you. Check that out. You see how much extra strap there is there? How many times that's folded over and tucked in there? So I am on the smallest setting that there is for this. This is not adjustable. It's meant to go to the middle, and then this side adjusts, that way the buckles meet in the middle here. This one doesn't adjust, so all the adjusting's done on this one, and I had to put it all the way on the smallest, which left a strap that hung way down, like past my knees. So now, I used to have to, with my saddles, I would have to I usually wear a belt. I would always have to take it off. But this one fits over everything so nice, I don't even have to do that anymore. I can just clip in, and very comfy. Suspenders are hooked up. So the other thing was, it came with this little small bridge, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this bridge at first. I've grown to trust it, so now, but also the knot and stuff that they had in it, they had the double fisherman there or something like that. So I just tripled it up so I could not have so much rope hanging out the sides. Same thing. I used just the doubles on the bottom. I added this bridge. This is Cherry Bomb from All Gear. So I don't use it in two separate setups. I probably will eventually, but I just clip both. And I just, for safety purposes, till I develop a trust in this, it just looks so small to me. So I was worried. So the next thing is leg straps. I just readjusted my back part here. I felt like it's a little low now. Now I'm gonna have to bring it up some. But yeah, that's not a problem. I can do that. Just put a point on it here. Problem is, I had used duct tape on it, and the duct tape got all sticky, so it doesn't travel through it as nice as it used to. So here's the thing with this. So see this? There used to be a ton of extra strap that everything went through, and it was on, everything's on this single, one of these single straps. So the bear paw here, the loop goes through there and to the other end of your leg pad. So I have this little bit that hangs off now. That's it. I don't mind that. That kind of stays there, so I don't have an issue with it. But it was 3 times this length that would hang off, and I would have it daisy chained and looped, but it just left straps hanging all down all over the place. So now I have those two that are there, and eventually maybe I sew them all the way down, but I didn't want to do too much sewing in case I wanted to readjust these out. But if you notice, they are sewn together. They're sewn together underneath this little bungee thing here, and tripled and doubled a couple times, and then that goes over the stitching, and then it's stitched down. There's like, it's folded over a bunch of times, and then it's passed back through the bear paw. So what I ended up doing is, instead of being on a single strap here, I'm on 3 of them, and then it's sewed together right there before it meets. So right here, it used to be on a single speedline strap, like not doubled over, just single. Now with me doubling it and tripling it there, it's so much strong. Like, I just feel so comfortable on it now, and it's such a nice, it's so nice, like it's perfect. And it gives me peace of mind that I'm not on just a single piece of strap like that. That's all it was, just right there. And now it's on, let's see, it's on 1 2 3 at a minimum 3 at all times. So when you lock in, it grabs the bear paw, pulls out on it, and you're set. I think for the most part, I'm set here. I like this setup. I was able to take the end of the strap. The strap goes here. I just ran it back down, and it's right inside the bear paw there, and it's hidden there. So that strap that goes from there to there, there's about this much excess that's hidden. It's not sewn or anything, it's just hidden. Same way with this one. I just ran it back down, put it inside the bear paw there, and the where it doubles and like has a lip, it catches and it holds itself into place. So this is the adjustments I've done to it. I added a clip over here for just whatever, an additional loop. Now these aren't sewn, so I don't hang anything heavy on these, but if I needed something for the saw on that side, it's there that I could use. Also, this is my clip-in for my handsaw. It just attaches to that thing and clips in. Back there is the tail of my lanyard. I use the Buckingham lanyard. I run it on the left side always, never any other side. Left side for my lanyard, right side for my saw, so they're not fighting. My pouch to kind of carry whatever stuff. Then you have, oh, it's the saw lanyard. And it's set up there. And then you have, is there anything else? I think it may be it. No, okay. Yeah, I just have my connection for that. And then you can see the bungee straps here that go down. The loop just kind of hides back behind it there. Stays into place. And they're out of the way, so I don't have any trouble with them. I put another carabiner back there to use. But yeah, that's it. Then my saw lanyard attaches there on these bottom little loops in case it gets stuck. And or my lanyard and my saw lanyard both attach to these little back loops for kind of safety reasons, in case it was to get caught and go ripping off. Those would give, as opposed to ripping me out of the tree. So kind of a lot of forethought that I've put into the setup, but I am stoked with it now. Um, it doesn't look incredibly like bulky or anything. It's pretty all compact, and it's very easy to hook up, get into now. I don't have to do any adjusting. Very easy to get out of. Click. And until it gets a little older and starts to hold its form, it's such a new saddle. It wants to, like, the leg pads want to flop out straight. So I'm trying to keep that natural, like, curve to them. So I do hook everything back up so that when it's stored, everything is like starting to do its curve like it's supposed to. I may adjust them straps up a little more on the back here, but other than that, I'm stoked with it. Have my little beaner there that I attach other stuff to. Oh, and my carrot tool. I forgot. I didn't even mention it. That's my everything. So my speed line straps, everything goes onto that. I could use it for my chainsaw. I just don't. I don't like the plastic part of that. And I don't like a real big hook. That's the reason I put it on the back side of me. I don't like big hooks on the side. They just always catch so much stuff, and I've tried it multiple times. I don't like it. Other than that, guys, that is the Stratus from Weaver, and I love this. It is so light, so easy to, adjust and get to where you want. It has a setup for any kind of suspenders. I didn't have to go buy Weaver suspenders. I bought some $15 ones, I think. What do they say on them? Master Force from. Actually, I didn't buy it from Lowe's this time. My other ones I bought from Lowe's. I bought those from Menards. So, talk to you guys for a few more minutes, and I'll probably cut this live off. I'm gonna go inside and hang out with the wife for a little bit and do dinner and everything. But yeah, we've almost hit an hour. Thanks, Billy. What are you guys joking about? On the separation of lanyard to saw, dance is the same thing. Yeah, and I also put my handsaw goes on the opposite side of my chainsaw too. That's the other thing. Like, I tried running it on my leg, but like I didn't like it when I was like wearing spikes. I liked it for pruning, wearing it on my calf, but or up my thigh. But the thigh ended up getting stuck onto my leg strap sometimes and like being in the way. And the calf would just be like when you're gaffed in, you're in a weird position to have to reach all the way down there to grab it. Is a bummer. With my setup, I can just reach over my left hand and actually shake my handsaw setup so old. It just you can shake it a little bit and it will release itself. So I can even do it one hand, which is kind of nice. Hot tub's not reading right. You guys see them legs? Yeah, it's incredibly comfortable. Really, like, but it's rigid. Like, this material, it's not something soft. I don't know what this composite stuff is right here. But it's like, that's cloth padding. It's like a harder material. Like it's a legit. I don't even know what it is, but it's stiff, and but it's still got some give and play to it. It's almost, I don't know. I don't really know, but it is harder than a woodpecker's. Well, it's not that hard. It's much stiffer though. But they stitched, I believe they stitched into it and through it. So, I mean, should be good stuff. But really like that. Same thing down here on the leg pads. So they're not folding all up. That's why the setup is very stiff and wants to flop straight back out and go straight. Is because of the stuff it's made out of. Yeah? No, what's up? Guys, hey, I will catch you next week. Thanks for hanging out. Stay safe, and I got a video coming out soon. Alright, see ya.